Monster RX93.1 presents All Out, your daily morning pick-me-up. All out hits, all out celebrity interviews, all out sports and showbiz news. Your hosts, Rico and Karla Aguas.
Hey, what's up, Monsters? How you guys doing? You know who we got in the studio? Well, more of a virtual studio. Why? Because she is in another location, but she's joining us to give us an awesome interview. Get up for the one and only Rita Ora!
Hey! Hi, Rita. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know you're busy. We just want to say we love you loads. We think you're one of the most talented musicians, artists of our generation. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Before we get onto the questions, how have you been? How's life? How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for asking. I am keeping on. I'm holding on. I think like the rest of the world, we're just trying to stay, really positive. I've realized throughout this whole experience, that I have a responsibility to really give my fans something to take them out of themselves. And I think more than ever, we now can give people things to really take them out of their headspace. So I'm really honored that I can share all my new music with you guys and get the ball rolling on 2021.
I think it's a great start to 2021 with the new music.
I mean, to get the new music out there, we know you have, what's the overall theme of the new EP that you got going?
Yes. Okay. So if anyone knows of me, I've been putting out albums since 2012, right?
Wow.
So this is the first. So this is the first time I wanted to do something that was less pressure, that was more like a collaboration, that felt more like an EP mixtape type of vibe, So during the lockdown, first one back here at home, I thought, oh gosh, I can't just sit like this. I have to make music. I have to keep creating. And so I just started writing things, and I messaged someone who now is a collaborator with me on this EP. His name is Imanbek, and it's really cool because he's from Kazakhstan. We never even met, and we actually don't even speak the same language, right?
Wow.
And we made this body of work. It's about 4 or 5 songs, and we made a mini movie. And really this I keep saying album, but it's an EP, but because I'm used to putting out albums, this is like a collaboration between so many international artists and so many people I've been a fan of. And really it's a musical transformation of the modern day we do music now in 2021. And it just has so many different vibes musically to it that I thought, wow, I have to put this EP together and give it to the world. But it really is just something we did for fun, and it just turned into this amazing world of just musical talent.
Talk about a serendipitous coming together of great minds and creating something so masterful. Rita, you said it yourself, it's a 4 to 5 song EP. I mean, it's got a mix of modern pop, 80s, 90s. It's basically like that clubbing in your room type of vibe, right? And it's something that we definitely need. You said it yourself, especially when the lockdown first started, you just thought, I have to create music. I have to be productive throughout this whole thing. So what were your inspirations behind each of the tracks? Because it's really hard to get inspired, especially now where things are so dark and negative and sort of stagnant, right?
Well, I think for everyone, there's been a personal experience to their, experience of the pandemic. I think there's so many people who have suffered and that we have to remember. And also, there's a lot of things that happen to you when you feel restricted, your mental health, you can't really go out that much. It's very hard to stay positive. And so I think that for me, what really drove me was being fearless and being honest with myself and challenging myself like lyrically. And some of these songs, I'm not actually really singing, I'm like rapping. I've never really done that before. There's moments where I'm like going scoot scoot. It's like, what is even happening? And it's like, I grew up in like soul music, I grew up like real diva singers, and so there's a lot of those where you guys are from. So I had to represent something for me that meant like, wow, she really pushed herself, and this is an experiment. It's like a science experiment. We just had fun with it. There was no rules, and that's what I loved about it.
And you did mention about being a soul singer, then all of a sudden you flip it up to some rapping. Was there any memorable lyrics that you could remember that's gonna be like a catchy hook for the album? Or for the EP?
There's actually a song on there called Mood, and I kind of had to put all my songs together, like all the words together. It was like, damn it, love. And it's like, and I was like, what am I even saying? I mean, are people even going to understand what I'm saying? And then for the hook, it's like, I switch it up so good. I switch it up so good. And it's like, what is going on? Usually I'm singing songs like, take me anywhere, you know, and I'm like, so this is what I mean about changing it up. I wanted to shock people a little bit, and why not? You can't be comfortable. You know, I never want to be comfortable. I always want to evolve, and I always want to inspire. And I've always been really honest since I started in this industry. And, you know, that comes with a lot of transparency, making mistakes and fixing them, putting out songs. And you're like, why did I even put that song out? And then, you know, you've moved forward. So this is like my evolution, I think, as an artist.
I stand the right woman. I think we all do. I love what you said, that you don't want to just be comfortable. I mean, with that being said, you know, this EP sounds like it's going to be something that people are going to be putting on repeat, Rita. I mean, I'm going to be one of them, dancing in my room, just singing out, rapping and all that. What do you want your fans to take away from this EP? Because you said yourself, it's so different, you know? You're so used to singing a whole different kind of way. This one is so collaborative. What do you want people to take away from it?
I think for me, especially with my Filipino fans, is that, you know, I've had such a connection with them. I actually was there in 2019, and I really want to come back and do another show because it's just so amazing performing over there, and you guys are always so much fun. But really, what I want people to take from this is the essence of freedom, you know, the self-belief. I think that I wanted to reinforce the belief in artists, and for fans to know that artists still do create and still are in control of doing things and taking risks. And whether people love it or they don't love it, I think you always have to respect the fight. And I feel like for me, that's what this was. This was like a fight of being an artist, of being creative. There was no other people telling me, oh, you can't do this or you should do that. And that's why I loved doing this EP. And anyone that's involved in it was involved in it because they actually wanted to. It wasn't like, hey, can you do this or can you do a favor? It was almost like, you know, wow, I can see the vision and I'm going to support it. So that's what, it's all coming from the heart, genuinely.
And you know, when it comes to a body of work that express so much honesty and everything, is there any advice you could give for those that are trying to do the same path of trying to honestly express themselves in an album, but they're like, oh, I'm kind of doubting myself because of how is it going to sound, just to go for it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, us as human beings, we're always driven by fear. You know, fear is one of our biggest enemies, but could be one of our best friends because we also need it to survive, you know? So you don't want to get rid of the fear, but you want to be buddies with the fear. And that's what I discovered when I was songwriting. Oh, I don't think I can say that. Oh, people are going to think I'm crazy, or people think I'm going to be weird. And that's the fear talking. But what you need to do is remember that that's not what drives creativity. You have to reinforce that belief, because that's what drives creativity, not being afraid. So I would just say, just try not to be afraid. And somebody out there, believe it or not, is probably going through the same thing.
Ooh, excellent industry advice right there, Monsters. I hope you got that. All right, Rita, we have a little segment here that we like to call All Out Questions. We ask you fun, random ones, and we just want to start things off. You know, you're a superstar. You're a global superstar. Everybody loves you. We listen to your songs and all that. But before you became famous, before you became this Rita Ora, did you have any odd jobs or any like random little
hot dogs or
something to make money and, you know, get by?
Of course, I'm like everybody else. We are human. I came to the UK when I was 1 year old from Kosovo, and it was in the middle of the war, which is in the 1990s. And so my parents really had to start from nothing. Like, you know, so yeah, I worked in a sneaker shop. I worked in the market, in Portobello Market, which is like a really famous market in the UK. Lots of fruits, lots of different personalities, I mean, there's everything going on. So yeah, so I've done a lot to get by. I worked in a recording studio, actually, just sort of making tea, cleaning up, just to get free studio time, because I actually couldn't afford to even have studio time. So, you know, there's a lot of things you got to do, but you never really know. Everything is like a little connection, it's like a spider web, you know, that connects to something else. And it really is interesting how life does its thing sometimes.
See, the secret is making good tea. If you can make good tea, the world is yours. That's what it's all about. Now, you officially made big money the first paycheck you've got as a celebrity, as a superstar. What was that first purchase that you have made that you're like, wow, I gotta buy this. I gotta buy this for me. You know what I mean? What was that first purchase?
I think it was my first home, actually. Yeah.
Aw.
It was my first actual house. And, we grew up in, I don't know how you guys call it over there, but like council house, like estates, government funding. So when I bought my first house, I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. I can actually live like this now. And it's amazing because, eventually, my parents now have that house and they live in that house. And it's just always amazing to just do something for your family. So I'll never forget that moment.
You are so inspiring, Rita. Seriously. Like, I am feeling the woman empowerment right here. Like, you are such a wonderful person. My gosh. I mean, with that being said, you are obviously a goal getter. Like, you strike me as the type of person that you really set goals for yourself and you really want to make sure, you achieve them. How do you stay motivated throughout that till you reach your goal? And then once you reach it, how do you move forward from that and then make the next one? How do you do it?
Yeah. I don't think anybody really knows how they do it. I feel like if somebody had the formula, they would be like gazillionaires. Because I feel like we always need a bit of motivating in our lives. I think altogether as humans, we put so much pressure on ourselves to like do better or be better, or I'm not doing good enough, or you don't feel like you're enough. And I think over time, especially with what I do and in my job, you have a lot of people that are watching you, and sometimes you get like inhumane scrutiny of opinions and yes, no's. And I think for me, what really helped me was my family, my friends, keeping my head down, having a small group of friends, like Drake said, no new friends. I feel like there was something said in that. But again, I think it's just about having that boundary so you don't pollute your brain and start believing what other people are saying. Because, the internet is a very scary place. And I think that for all my fans that I talk to, that message me on Twitter, they're like, I can't go to school, or I don't feel well, or I feel like this person hates me. It's not real life. And I think that that's something I really want to support in people, because everybody gets it. So I think that's what motivates me, knowing that I can help other people.
Now, Rita, we all know you for your singing. We all know you for performing on stage. But is there any special talent that you do that nobody knows, that they're like, oh man,
secret talent?
I feel like, I guess, singing, I can do a really good sort of like, I can do weird face expressions.
Can you show us a few?
Yeah.
like I'm very like good with like my face. Like all my friends call me Pokemon because I have very big features, like eyes, or like my nose, or like my mouth. So I'm always like exaggerated, I don't even know if that's a talent, but it's definitely an entertaining factor at a party.
It definitely is. And I love that you're so like unapologetic about it. You're like, listen, I am confident enough in myself. I know I'm beautiful, so I'm gonna make these weird faces and you're gonna laugh and just have a good time. Yeah. Rita, thank you so much. I mean, we wish we could have more time with you, but we know you're so busy. Congratulations again on the EP. I mean, thank you for putting out music for us, because I think it's what we really need right now. Message for Filipino fans?
All my Filipino fans, oh gosh, I wish I had more time. I'm so grateful for all of the years of support and for coming to my shows. And every time I've come there, I've had the most amazing presents and like chocolates and teddies. And I really would love, love, love to see you all again. And fingers crossed I get to come back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita.
Rita, thank you. And hope to meet you when you're here in Manila,
I know, maybe I can do a real life interview. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, the one and only Rita Ora.
Bye. Thank you.
All Out with Rico and Karla. All out music and all out fun. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.